The First Descendant, a game that tried to be Destiny's competitor. It was reasonably good, but sadly, it wasn't anything really special. Well, except the gooning. The gooning material on this game was absolutely top notch, boys. I ain't gonna lie. That they did really well, and they're still pumping really hard in that respect. But otherwise, well, at least it's kind of a decent game. It has seen a huge decline in player base. Roughly, currently, there's only 5% players left from its peak at launch. But, well, that 5% is staying strong, and that is miles better than, honestly, most other AAA games at this point. So, there is potential for a comeback.
So, I recently went back and tried out The First Descendant after nearly a whole year, and to no one's surprise, I was not impressed. So, let me tell you why. But first, for those looking for a reason to come back, well,
The teleportation, at least, is good, and I mean, boys, listen, it is what it is.
don't only watch my video. I'm looking at this game at a different perspective, especially of someone who just has live service game fatigue and sick of games that don't respect the player's time. So, with that said, let's go back and uncover the reason as to why I dropped the game in the first place, and of course, looking at what the game could have been and what it is right now.
And by the way, if this does not instantaneously appease you, being somewhat, effectively this game somewhat nowadays can be called not as a shooter, but more as bullet heaven to a degree almost. It's almost like Vampire Survivors, but you're always winning, and it's from a third perspective with a lot of gooning. But if that doesn't interest you, I don't know if this game will actually be a good fit.
And of course, looking at what the game could have been and what it is right now. I last played this game back in October 2024. I uninstalled the game because of really
Damn.
poor design choices, outright sloppy content, and encounters with lame and useless mechanics. They released this new season and it was just absolute doo-doo water. I got together the boys and we killed the new boss, and it was the worst piece of shit I've ever done, and that prompted me to just uninstall the game.
Yeah, most of the bosses, spotters people are saying are just like, okay, it's the boss, it's right there, and you just shoot it. You just shoot it. Or maybe it has some kind of invulnerability phase where you shoot smaller things, maybe, and yeah, it's kind of lame.
I just couldn't take it anymore.
Just like that. All right. Great. Uh-huh. Stopping.
Okay.
669. Great. Manage, uninstall. Get the fuck out of my library. All right.
Damn.
It's done.
And people who are watching me for TFD content were always wondering when I would eventually come back. So is me reinstalling the game to see what's up a sign of me coming back? Nope. So why is that?
Probably not. It really seems hard for the First Descendant to get people back. At this point, it's either you already like the game or you don't. And if you don't, you're probably looking at this thing more as, well, Fallout 76 than anything else, honestly.
Suck. First Descendant launched at a time where Destiny was sucking a lot of dicks, as usual, and Warframe was just in a shit state with no content for months. So, the
As usual?
And when TFD
Yeah.
launched, it was easily able to grab players from both ends and give them a whole new avenue to experience something new in a familiar setting. For those who don't know what The First Descendant is, it's a free-to-play third-person booba shooter.
Hell yeah! Aw.
Okay.
Dynamic motion.
Hell yeah!
Of course, the Nier skin, and this is the one with the skirt.
Boo.
So this is the somewhat halal one. This is the absolutely haram one. And mechanic, racer, of course.
Nice.
Of course. Uh-huh.
Everything is just open. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, the game didn't shy away from it, and you know what? It's better off this way, okay? It's better this than any alternative.
And oh, I like this one. Like the jacket mostly. Why? Wait, what? That jiggle doesn't make sense because the jacket is jiggling. What? That doesn't make
As long as something's jiggling.
sense, dude. made by Nexon. Yeah, you know where this is going. So you control a descendant, people with powers, fighting to save humanity from an alien invasion. Simple premise, and because that's all I got out of the story, as I will not subject myself to that kind of torture to listen to their dialogue and horrible voice acting. I just can't.
It was RK.
What the hell is this?
RK.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna get you out of here right now. Corral, you bastard. And together, we'll save Alpha.
Damn.
Together.
And for the
Damn.
saying, hey, just change it to Korean, huh? It's the same lines, okay? It's just you don't understand what they're saying, so you think they're doing a good job. The core gameplay loop involves tackling missions, fighting massive bosses called Colossi, who all got nerfed, apparently, and collecting loot to upgrade and customize your descendants' abilities and weapons. The game design draws heavy
Well, now.
comparisons to Warframe and a little of Destiny too. Like Warframe, it features third-person perspective, characters with 4 abilities and a passive, fast-paced combat, a roster of distinct characters with unique powers, most
Fast-paced combat, but without the movement, nothing's gonna really then get the Warframe crowd in, honestly. As long as you don't have the movement, it's not gonna be enough. You're not getting them in.
women with big ass and titties, and generic Unreal
Now that's getting me in, but I'm just one guy.
Engine faces. It has a fairly decent modding system, additional gear and components to make the build feel more complete. It shares elements with Destiny 2 through its looter-shooter mission structure, grand boss encounters, the 3 weapon slots with different ammo types, and a central social hub like the tower. Oh yeah, they also added sparrows into the game, which have 2 modes, boost and jump. All the
Nice.
animations are stiff and ridiculous to look at. I mean, if I were to compare and choose the vehicle
I mean, that's true, but at least it has a jump, and which is fun.
between Destiny, Warframe, and TFD, I would take the Sparrow and Skimmer from Destiny over the vehicles in Warframe and TFD any day, as they do feel better to use, make sense, and are relevant in the content and not just random gimmicky vehicles put into the game because haha, cool.
Wait, are you saying Starfield didn't succeed with their random gimmicky bullshit scooter that they put into the game? What was that? That is heresy.
Now going back a little, talking about its release. So when I played the game, some people warned me, my guy, it's Nexon, careful. It was the first Nexon game, so
Is Nexon the same guys who made what's it called? The 2D thing that literally is supposed to suck your soul and wallet, but not the head. Can't now. It's the Candy Crush equivalent for men. I forgot the name. Damn it.
I was none the wiser, and I was like, dude, just don't worry about it. But a small tangent here, not all Nexon games are bad, just all the live service ones, because the
Okay, I want to check Nexon game list. Nexon game list. Yeah, there it is. Maple Story. Okay. Category Nexon games. Oh wow, they have Blue Archive also. That's interesting. Vindictus, Blue Archive, the Finals, the First Descendant, Counter-Strike, Nexons 2. Counter-Strike Next. What the fuck is this? I don't have any idea. But yeah, they are the ones who made Maple Story. That's their money thing, okay? Kart Riders Rush Plus. What the hell is that? In any case, most of this is definitely a lot of slop. Dragon Fighter Online. Wow. Well, anyway, Nexon is something.
first Berserker Kazan is an exceptional game, one of my favorites, and a really good Souls-like. Give it a try.
I don't even see the first Berserker Kazan on this list. What the hell? Oh no, here it is.
10 out of 10 would recommend. Anyway, going back. I played TFD since the first beta. There were so many issues in the game, and they promised to fix those issues and produce worthwhile content. About that, TFD was a big deal in the scene, as it was a direct competitor to both Warframe and Destiny. It's always good to have competition in the video game space, because it pushes developers to improve and give players what they really want, and make a good, complete game. I mean, TFD was a serious threat, emphasis on the was part. Before
Did people consider that this could actually take over? Well, I mean, definitely Destiny. When we saw this at the start, I remember saying that, yeah, this does look like something that could challenge Destiny in overall how it worked, but then it kind of became this. So there we go. This is not gonna challenge Destiny for their player base, like probably honestly ever.
Before I go into all the negatives, let me just point out the good.
I'm pretty sure Warframe players can just go into the comments and name like 10 reasons why this is not exactly cutting it for them, and Destiny players can do the exact same
In this game, because believe it or not, there's some good to take away. And before I go into the nitty gritty, let's establish a few things. The red mods in this game are the augment equivalents in Warframe, and crystallization catalysts, one of the dumbest things I've ever blurted out of my mouth, are formas in TFD. So I'll be using the Warframe terminology because it makes more sense and less word vomit. And in this game, augments have their own augment slot, and they're not mandatory mods to fix issues like in Warframe, but completely change how the character is built. It gives them an entirely new identity, and depending on the content you're doing, some augments dominate. It can turn support frames into a DPS into a tank, for example, altering how abilities and damage types scale. And some of them can completely turn an ability DPS descendant into a weapon.
Yeah, this looks kind of fucking boring, doesn't it? You're just running around on narrow. Dude, how do game developers not understand that narrow tunnels never fun? Narrow tunnels, narrow corridors, narrow pathways, never fun. Okay? Jesus. Well, why did game devs keep making these small, tiny pathways that you need to go through and it feels boring and lame?
Platform. It's pretty intricate, not gonna lie. There's skill trees. Man, I love some skill trees.
Wow.
This is a new thing added to the game because
This looks like some Diablo 4 tier slop. Jesus.
it wasn't around when I was playing. This adds more power utility to your build. The skill tree
Max MP 0.3%. Okay, multiplicative. I mean, that's what X means, right?
isn't something
Okay, skill cooldown 0.01. Very cool.
in depth like you would see in Path of Exile or Last Epoch, but it's there.
Okay, well, yeah, it is there, but listen, when they're talking about shit like this, I say that it better fucking not be dead, honestly. Because what's the point of this? Do you think people are gonna have fun with this? The moment that they understand, oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, I got a level, +1 damage, I guess, ooh, when I'm dealing 5 million damage. This is useless. That's just how it feels. If you're gonna make a talent tree or skill tree or whatever, and it's just passive garbage, you literally are doing a worse job than Dragon Age Railguard. Do you want to ever be doing a worse job than goddamn Dragon Age the Railguard? Probably not.
And it's horrible to level up. The Codex.
Well, unless you're one of those idiots who are gonna say, oh no, Dragon Age Railguard was a success! Yes. Millions of players in, well, hundreds of thousands of players in a game that typically had millions of players.
That you can access whenever you want. Shows you where each item is acquired, and you can mark and list things that you're actively farming. Pretty nifty. They were the first to add
nice.
somewhat of a universal forma to the game. Not as good as Warframe, where it's one forma for all polarities, but close enough. And they have this one thing that Warframe would benefit big time from: transferring regular Warframe progress into a Prime variant with a single click, meaning the reactor and formas that you invested will all be transferred over. Oh yeah, you know how good that will be in Warframe? But Warframe won't be able to do that because of, well, money. They would lose money. And I guess that's the same reason why this feature is only accessible through specific events in TFD. Oh yeah, they added this new open world area. It's barren, like Unreal Engine slop terrain, but there's a world boss. Yeah, a full...
Oh, hell yeah, shoot the thing that glows. God, I love yellow paint, don't you?
8-man world boss that you can participate in. So that's nice. And you're able to target farm relics. Unlike in Warframe, you can just farm Neos or Axes. You can't necessarily target farm a specific relic. I think that's all the good stuff. And now, let's delve into the negatives and downfall.
Like, the hell is this even supposed to be?
TFD was given the golden goose. But as soon as they got the golden egg, they gave back the goose, because all they wanted was the egg. It's like, bro, if you have the goose, you can have as many golden eggs as you want. Literally a money printing machine. And TFD was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, we have it.
And this is actually right. This is correct. Because, again, this game had like 260k players day one when it released. That's a lot. That's a very fine amount of players. And, well, they kind of made the game less what it was supposed to be, a competitor to Destiny and Warframe. And I mean, this is kind of technically a unique game to a degree. This is not Warframe. This is not Destiny. It has elements at this point from those games, but it's not really. Well, it's not really anything. It's its own thing, and its own thing is not strong enough to actually be interesting on its own for the most part.
We have egg here. That's a TLDR of what happened. I made a video talking about prices, monetization, and ridiculous farming that exists in this game, but I was called a hater, as always. So let me show you a feature that was asked for since the beta, alright? The first beta. Alright, take a look at this. I can open the codex, search for mods, and see where they drop. Pretty cool feature, right? As I said earlier. But that's not what was asked for. This is but an example and setup for the stupid I'm about to show you. Now, if I want to upgrade my mods, I need to go to an NPC. And at that NPC, I can no longer search for the mods I want to upgrade. Why is there no search bar? I would either have to use filters to narrow down what I want, or install the mod on the weapon or descendant and have instant access to it. This makes no friggin' sense. If a search feature already exists, why does it not exist when you actually want to upgrade your mods? This was asked for since the first beta. How is this still not in the game? I got a bit, emotional. Granted, that was really stupid. TFD did help push Warframe to up their game in many ways. Unfortunately, the game shoves so much live service mumbo jumbo at you with time gates, FOMO, limited time offers, value packs,
Hell yeah,
slop
hell
after
yeah.
slop, making things tedious to farm, but an easiest
Some people live for the slop, okay? It's fine.
escape by just swiping that card. Funny enough, you can't swipe to buy weapons, but the drop rates, shush, hey, there's something. And playing the game after coming back, it feels like there was no significant change. Performance issues are still a thing. Visual clutter is just over the top as always. Even though there's a setting to turn off explosions, there's no setting to turn off player effects. DE, you need this option as well, alright? You're not exempt. I can't even tell the female descendants apart if they don't have their signature outfit.
I mean, it's hard to sell gooning if that's a thing.
Because they all look alike, and all I can see are ass and titties. But I can tell Sharon apart from the others, because she's the only brown girl, and nobody plays her still. And you barely see any
Base!
male characters being played. I wonder why. For one, I commend them for knowing their audience with all the Gooner skins and Gooner material.
True,
But
and
other
real.
than that, it's just another live service game shoving so much bloat down your throat. Kinda rhymes. That's just too much. I mean, Warframe also has this issue where there's just a lot of materials and resources. Every new update. And some of them are freaking useless. I mean, when was the last time you used Tellurium, huh? I'm surprised Destiny solved that issue by consolidating resources and currency. Yeah, Destiny solved that issue. The dog, or fellow, known in this game, was added to help solve one of the most annoying and time-wasting things that's in the game, inventory management. So this is the Sentinel or companion equivalent to Warframe, but all it does is loot things for you. And if you've set up your junk filter, it will dismantle the junk. That's good, right? Sure, but all it does is loot. Nothing unique or special. It doesn't add anything to your build or combat like in Warframe. When you think about it, it's just like the Ghost from Destiny. But at least the Ghost talks and hacks things for you. Let's not talk about the process of getting the dog, which is just tedious and takes way too long because you have to run one boring mission over and over. After getting the dog, you're expected to do things right away. Junk marking and
I wonder, is there a comeback for the first Descendant, by the way? I wonder if something can be changed here enough. It doesn't seem like it requires that much to be fixed. Scale a couple of things down. Definitely make the fucking numbers not go into the millions like World of Warcraft. you know, make bosses with more mechanics that are not boring and stupid. I mean, it's so easy to make. Dude, it's so easy to make bosses with unique shit in these games. And to make the game at least a little bit more challenging than just AFK shoot a thing. I think that's something that well, honestly, Destiny doesn't even do it. In my opinion, the bosses in Destiny are ass. They're fucking boring. They're extremely creatively bankrupt. Most of them are stationary. Well, that's not true, but still, a lot of them are stationary. And well, a lot of these things are pretty bad, but I don't think you need a lot to change it. You just need to know in which direction to actually go to change it so this is gonna appeal to more people. It still has a healthy-ish player base. It has something like, let's actually go to the Steam DB, okay? I want to go to the Steam DB. Steam DB first descendant. Okay, wait, I'm gonna share the screen. Okay, yeah, this. Look at this. This is not bad. This is not bad. The current thing is something happened. Season 3. Oh no, that's well, it's kind of holding. Honestly, look at that. It held it for a whole month. Not bad, not bad. The declines are pretty bad. I mean, these are almost Starfield levels of this decline. Ancestors, but you know there is interest. The peak was 265,000 people, and then well, in a month it lost 75% of them. Oof. That's not exactly the greatest. Well, actually a little bit less. Oh yeah, this is half. This is roughly the month mark right here. Yeah, they did lose a lot, and then season 1 came back. There is interest in this. There's a lot of decent interest in this, it seems like. And the players are, again, for a month, keeping these players in your minimum is like 8-ish, 3K-ish. That's not necessarily the worst. There is a world where people probably go back to this. Jeez, the ratio, though, that's really fucking rough, not gonna lie. Only having this much positive rating is, though, really, really bad, not gonna lie. That is a problem. But I think First Descendant is gaining so much flack if it suddenly became an actual good game. I think a lot of people would come back to it. Most likely, at least. You never know, but probably. That's my assumption.
Dismantling items is on a cooldown. So you have to level up the dog to reduce the cooldown, which requires you to go back to that boring mission and waste your time again. And even at max level, there's still a cooldown. The dog feels like complete wasted potential. It could have done so much more than just be a loot bot. Each dog has that additional trait where either you get HP recovery or it auto refills rounds. It may be good for some people, but I was expecting a bit more from these dogs. Anyway, this is my perspective on the current state of the game. I mean, TFD has been hammering.
Yeah, oh, he's showing the Steam DB. Yeah, it's not the greatest. Anyway, that was Nightmare Frame 10 out of 10. Bye.